So I'm just displaying my build that I used to achieve the 1.1 mil score. I'll be moving on to the details on how you can maximize and improve your Mona's vaporized damage very shortly. Since we all want to achieve higher numbers with our Mona Vaporized combo, in this video I will share my steps and tips on how you can potentially maximize your Mona Vaporized burst damage further. Some of these tips may not be new news for some, but hopefully you will gain something out of this video. Mona's elemental burst is probably one of the many complex things to understand in Genshin Impact. I wish it could be a simple elemental burst to use, but unfortunately that is not the case. However, on the plus side, there are multiple ways to utilize her elemental burst and how it interacts on certain mobs, which can change up her gameplay, rotation, and team comps. I'll be talking more about Mona in another video. This video we are going to focus on the steps to improve your vaporized damage. Starting with the basics. Firstly, you will need to understand how Mona's elemental burst works. To not overcomplicate things, I will put it in simple terms. Her elemental burst is able to apply Hydro Element twice, one during the initial burst and one at the time the bubble is popped. This would involve a basic level understanding of internal cooldowns. However, I won't cover too much details of this, as I'll only be covering tips on how to maximize your Mona's damage. If you're learning the Mona Vaporized combo and you're starting to see the big numbers, and let's say your Mona's artifacts are top notch with very high crit damage, attack percent with some elemental mastery, however you're not sure how you can push your numbers up even further. Firstly, we're going to consider what is your Bennett's and Sucrose's level of investment. These two characters are basically essential for pushing up your vaporized damage numbers. What makes them essential? Sucrose's allows to transfer elemental mastery to all party members under the condition that the swell is triggered by her. You want to ensure you have her at least 60 out of 70 as a minimum requirement. Ensure you farm the Viridescent Venera set for her with elemental mastery, main substats or substat. You want to stack her with as much elemental mastery as you can, because 20% of her total elemental mastery will be transferred to her other party members. Depending on your combo rotation, you may want to consider using Sacrificial Fragments or Thrilling Tales on her. There is also the option of using the Widsith, but this is for more of an advanced or whale exclusive option. Bennett here is a must. You will see tremendous amount of improvements with your damage just by leveling Bennett's character, his weapon level, and his Fantastic Voyage talent level. Try to ensure you provide him with your best weapon that provides the most base attack. Attack percent artifacts do not influence the Fantastic Voyage attack buff, so build Bennett any way you want. The standard and common build is the HP and energy recharge build, though if you don't need his healing, just build him DPS. Investing your resources into Bennett and Sucrose are essential as the basic requirements you would need to consider as the first stages of improving your vaporized combo. As you start reaching a cap on how far you can level or how much you can improve your artifacts substats for these characters or for Mona, this is where you'll start to fall into the next stage. At this stage, you want to consider how you can use the fourth slot to push Mona's damage even further. As an example, using Klee to hold Thrilling Tales, Zhongli for additional elemental resistance shred, Xiangling with Guba Chili, C6 Amber and her additional attack boost from Fire Rain. The list goes on. There are multiple ways to structure your Mona Vaporized team, depending on who you have. I can't really suggest the best composition for you, as not everyone has access to all characters and constellations. You will need to decide on what character compositions is best suited for your Mona Vape teams. A lot of trial and damage testing that you would need to do as well. To maximize your Mona damage, my only suggestion is to document your Mona's artifacts in a damage calculator, where you'll be able to compare your artifact combination. It's great creating damage calculation scenarios to determine what team comps or artifacts is going to be better. You can compare your artifact pieces through open world testing. However, this may eat up a lot of your time, and sometimes it can potentially provide inaccurate results. I use my own damage calculator to determine what artifacts are better for different purposes, such as my Mona's Raw Hydro damage build and Mona Vaporized damage build. For this video, I ended up using the Genshin Impact calculator because when I was building on from my existing calculator that I had, I must have messed up something that started creating inaccuracies in the calculations, so I wasn't bothered fixing it. The Genshin Impact calculator is quite accurate, and it helped me to determine that I was late to get the instructor's buff factored in to the calculation. This is my calculated damage of 1.165 without instructors added into the calculation. However, if I were lucky enough to make it in time just before the instructor's buff were to wear off, my damage would be around 1.2 range. The combo itself has a lot of RNG. A lot of things can go wrong, such as stray mines from Klee can randomly pop the bubble too early, the extremely low crit rate, and getting a perfect wood stiff buff for both Mona and Sucrose. Using the Genshin Impact damage calculator was a great way for me to measure the damage that I had through in-game and the calculated results. It basically helped me to determine what artifacts are better and whether some combos were providing some inconsistencies. So I did have a lot of inconsistencies in my damage when trying to fit instructor's buff into the combo. I tried multiple rotations. It simply came down to luck and getting the exact timing of when Humpty Dumpty is casted and how the mines interact to achieve the 1.2 mil. Basically, if you've ticked all the boxes on how to maximize your damage and you felt like you've reached a cap, my only suggestion is to continue farming artifacts and hope at some point you will receive god tier substatted artifacts. My current Mona Vaporized damage set is very difficult for me to replace, but I still farm her artifacts from time to time in hopes for an ideal substatted one.